Good morning students, how are you all? Now we are going to study the lesson Movements of the Earth. Repeat, Movements of the Earth. Okay, now we can recall what we have studied in the previous class. A leap year has 366 days. A leap year has 366 days. So how many days are there in a leap year? 366, okay? The revolution of Earth causes seasons. The revolution of Earth causes seasons. What causes seasons? The revolution of the Earth. What is in the revolution? The movement. So the movement of the Earth causes seasons. There are 4 seasons. There are 4 seasons. How many seasons are there? 4. There are 4 seasons. What are they? Spring, summer, autumn, winter. Repeat. Spring, summer, autumn, winter. Okay. What does the spring brings? What does the spring gives? New leaves sprout. New leaves sprout. Sprout means new leaves will grow. Okay. When during the spring season. Next, summer. The weather will be hot. How the weather will be? The weather will be very hot. In summer, the weather will be hot. Next, autumn. The leaves on the trees change their color. The leaves on the trees change their color. So, in autumn season, the leaves will be in different color. The leaves will change. Okay. At last, winter. The climate is very cold and snows in some places. Winter. The climate is very cold and snows in some places. So how the climate will be? The climate will be very chill, very cold. Okay, and you can find snows in many places. Now we are going to see how seasons are formed. How seasons are formed. So seasons are formed due to 2 reasons. How many reasons? 2 reasons. Okay. The tilt of the Earth's axis. The tilt of the Earth's axis. Tilt means moving in a slope. Moving in a slow position. Okay. The tilt of the Earth's axis. The second one is the revolution of the Earth around the Sun. The revolution of Earth around the Sun. What I said, the meaning of revolution, the movement of the Earth around the Sun. So these 2 are the reasons for how the seasons are formed. Okay, now let us see this diagram. So this is the Sun and these are all the Earth. Okay. This is the North Pole. See, this is the North Pole and this is the South Pole. This is Arctic Circle. Arctic Circle. Next one, Tropic of Cancer. What is it? Tropic of Cancer. So after the Tropic of Cancer is the Equator. Say Equator. Next, Tropic of Capricorn. Tropic of Capricorn. At last, Antarctic Circle. So the first season is the spring season. Next, the summer. Next, the autumn. And at last, the winter. Okay. So the seasons are formed by the revolution of the sun. Okay, revolution. It comes in this direction. It comes in this direction. Now let us study by comparing this diagram with this tabular point. Okay. Day, position of the sun, northern hemisphere, southern hemisphere. Okay. Day, 21st March. Position of the sun is above the equator. In northern hemisphere, spring equinox. In southern hemisphere, autumn equinox. See, this is 21st March. So where is the position of the sun? It is above the equator. Equator divides northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. So when the position of the sun is above the equator, the northern hemisphere has spring equinox. Equinox means equal day and night. That means the spring will be in both day and night. Likewise, in southern hemisphere, autumn equinox. So, the autumn will be in both day and night. When the position of the sun is above the equator, the northern hemisphere has spring equinox and the southern hemisphere has autumn equinox. Next was June. Position of the sun. Tropic of Cancer. Northern hemisphere summer solstice. Southern hemisphere winter solstice. Where is the 21st June? Here. Okay. And where is the position of the sun? Tropic of Cancer. The Tropic of Cancer is above the equator. When the position of the sun is above the equator, the northern hemisphere has, see, this is the northern hemisphere, it has summer solstice. Solstice means the sun stands still. The sun stands in the same position. Okay. The northern hemisphere has summer solstice and the southern hemisphere has winter solstice. 21st September. Position of the sun above the equator. Northern hemisphere autumn equinox. Southern hemisphere spring equinox. Where is 21st September? It is here. So, the position of the sun is above the equator. So, the northern hemisphere has autumn equinox. The northern hemisphere has autumn equinox and the southern. This is the southern part. Okay. This southern hemisphere has spring equinox. At last, 21st December. Position of the sun. Tropic of Capricorn. Northern hemisphere winter solstice. Southern hemisphere summer solstice. What is the meaning of solstice? See, the sun stands still. Okay. Here, 21st December. So, the position of the sun is at the Tropic of Capricorn. So, Tropic of Capricorn is below the equator. So, the northern hemisphere, this part has winter solstice and the southern hemisphere has summer solstice. Okay, this is for your home assignment. You have to write it in your classwork mode. How the Earth's tilt and revolution creates seasons. Draw the diagram. How the Earth's tilt and revolution creates season. Draw the diagram. Differentiate between rotation and revolution. Differentiate between rotation and revolution. How is a leap year formed? How is a leap year formed? Write briefly about the 4 seasons. Write briefly about the 4 seasons. Hope you understand, students. Thank you.